We are live.
Yes, we are. My name is Rob. We got Tim. We got Brian. We may have others coming in as we go. We don't know tonight, so we're rolling right now with what we've got. Let's see. Last week in our college picks of the week. Let's see here. Do I have everybody's college? What everybody did college wise? Oh, I did. I think I still do. Yeah. Tim got 3 right. Brian got 3 right. Keith, Harris, and Rob got 4 right. Over and unders, we had 7 of them, and Tim got 3 over unders. Brian 4, Keith 5, Harris and Rob 6 over unders. All right. This will be week 11 in the NFL. So college games. Tim, we'll start with you. Clemson, a 9.5-point favorite this week, traveling to Pitt. Go for it. 54 and a hook.
Yeah, well, the real Pitt Panthers, please stand up. I mean, they look like gangbusters, and then Shmoo stuck a Shmoo in their behind. I'm really not sold on Clemson on why they're a top 10 team. I guess if you win all your games and nobody else does, I guess that helps. Who knows? Maybe Clemson saw something on footage. 9 points is too many for me, so I'll take. I think Clemson may win this game, but not by 9 points.
All right.
And what's your over under?
54 and a half.
Under.
All right. You want to score? You want to shoot a score to us?
Let's go. What do you say? 54? So I'll go with something like 28-24.
All right. Gotcha. And you're taking Clemson to win 28-24.
Yes.
All right. Oh, look at that timing of this. How about this? All right, Brian, go for it.
All right. Clemson has allowed 100 yards rushing last 4 out of 5 games. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to run the ball too well on either. I know Clemson is kind of downgraded because they started the year so poorly, but they're coming on, and they need a little bit better play out of their quarterback, Cade Klubnik. But I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh in a close game. I've got Clemson 32-29.
So you'll take Pittsburgh.
Yes.
32-29-61. So you'll go with the over.
All right.
What's going on, Keith? We got Clemson. Clemson 9.5-point favorites at Pittsburgh. It's you.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take Clemson, even though that seems like a lot of points.
All right, so you gonna get them to cover 9 and 10 points in.
Yeah.
All right. And 54 and a half.
I'll go over.
Over. You want to give us a score?
No. I haven't thought about that much.
All right. Me and Tim. What's up, Daniel Barry? Happy Wednesday.
If you want to write a score down, 36-24. Put down, I guess.
I got the same score Tim's got, except flip-flopped around. I like Pittsburgh in this ballgame. I think they're actually going to upset Clemson. Clemson, to me, look like they're just there. 28-24. I got Pittsburgh winning this ballgame, and I'm going under the total.
Rob, before we start the next game, we have all not looked at each other's sheets. I know this happened a few times last week, but
Daniel Barry, good evening.
Right there. Yep. 20-24.
Yeah.
So, did you get? Yeah, I said 36-24.
Yeah.
Yep. We got you. All right, Brian, Texas, the Longhorns. They're 16.5-point favorites.
Was that the first game?
Arkansas. Huh? Yeah. You walked right in. You got it on the ground floor, brother. Yeah. They're playing Arkansas, the Hogs. They're ready to go back.
Texas is number 2 in total defense in NCAA. And Arkansas has blowout losses to LSU and Ole Miss. Ole Miss ran up 694 yards, almost 700 yards on Arkansas's defense. I've got Texas winning this game pretty handily. 34-21. That's a little too close because I see Texas is favored 16.5, you said?
So you'll take Arkansas with the points?
Well, I'm going to change my mind on that. Let's go 34-17.
All right.
I'll take Texas straight away.
And that'll be an under. 57.5. I will let you know that. 57.5. Keith.
Texas 41-10.
41-10. Keith will go with Texas and the under. And somebody else stole my score again.
No, didn't see it.
Can't read it.
34-17. Yep,
17.
Okay.
I see it. Yep.
Yep.
Ain't that what Brian had? Is that what Brian had?
Yeah.
Yeah. 34-17. I will take Texas and I'll go under. Tim.
I don't think there's much to say about this game. I'll say something to the effect of 45-17 Texas.
45-17. So he will take Texas and the over. All righty. We're going to Keith. Utah, the Utes. The 2 Utes involved. Utah going to Colorado. They're going to have a fun ride. The Buffaloes. Buffaloes are 10-point
I picked
favorite.
Utah to upset BYU, and it came close.
They
but
almost
field
did
goal
it.
against- They almost did it.
They almost did it. You're right. They're
So-
10-point dogs going to Colorado and
Yeah.
47 and a hook.
Colorado 25-22.
25-22. So you will take Utah, 25, and that's 47, and you'll go with the under. All right. Yeah, you know what? I just get a feeling this ball game's it's going to be closer than 10 points. I just get that feeling. And I know Utah is not a very good team this year, but I just think with pride itself, they're just going to come out and play pretty good. In Colorado, it's going to be tough. I know it will be, especially to keep them out of the end zone. So I'm going to have this as a high-scoring game. 33 Colorado, 28 Utah. So I will take Utah. I will go over the 47.5. Tim.
Right. And that's my problem is I don't know if maybe Colorado chokes this game away. I mean, hell, they just have to watch the BYU footage. We had them on the ropes, and if it wasn't for a holding call, we win that game. And BYU is a much better team than Colorado, but then again, Colorado also, you have to figure they get better every week too. I think they find a way to handle Hunter on both sides of the ball. But I think it's going to have to be a lower scoring game because you cannot outshoot with Colorado, in my opinion, if you're Utah. So I'll say it'll be
Okay.
How about like 27-23 Utah?
Oh, so you got Utah winning it straight up.
Yes.
27-23 and over. So you'll take those 47.5. So Tim will go with Utah and the over. Brian.
Yeah, not only the holding call on 4th and 10, but controversial holding call on 4th and 10. Utah's athletic director made a little video, and he went on a rant and just said flat out the referees took that game from us. I watched that video on YouTube, and I saw the play, kind of agree with him. Utah has got the best defense in the Big 12, and they gave a very good BYU team a game. They should be able to run on Colorado, I think, keeping the game close. Colorado's got the stars, Sanders, 73%, 24 touchdowns, which leads the Big 12. I don't know how much Primetime is committed to Colorado, but all the rumor is about him going to the Cowboys next year to be their coach. There's a lot of talk about that. I don't know what to think about that, but I think Colorado wins the game, but I think Colorado is going to beat Utah 21-18. I think it'll be a close game.
21-18. Brian goes with Utah in the under. All righty.
Yeah, that
Next
was
game.
the impression I got from the Utah BYU score. Just is that Utah's defense must be fairly decent, that they kept that kind of a low-scoring game.
Yeah,
That's
they
why I'm
are
not
good.
expecting this to be too big of a shootout.
Yeah. Next one we got might be a shootout, but it might be one bringing a gun, the other one bringing a water pistol. Ohio State, 30-point favorites going to Northwestern.
Rob, I missed you
40
on Utah, Colorado. Who'd you pick on Utah, Colorado?
Did I give my score on that one? Colorado 33, Utah 28. So I got Utah and the over.
Okay.
Ohio State here in this ball game, it's all a matter of goose eggs. Do they leave one for Northwestern, or do they get some points on the board? Northwestern will score, but only a field goal. 41-3. The 44 and a hook is safe. I will go to Ohio State, covers 30 and under it by a half point. Tim.
If the over-under was 46 last week, then you would have been safe with that as well because they had another goose egg. The only thing you got to worry about is Ohio State hopefully not treating this as a trap game because they have Indiana next week. I don't think they will. I think they're going to have their eyes on the prize this week, 1 week at a time. I will say it's going to be
Cover 30.
42-6 Ohio State.
So you
This
got
game is at Wrigley Field, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it's at Wrigley.
All right. Brian.
All right, Northwestern averages only 19 points a game. They're not going to score 19 points against Ohio State. Best defense in the land. They're number 1 or 2 in points and 1 or 2 in yards allowed. They allow less than 250 yards a game. How many touchdowns passes will Will Howard throw in this game? I think he's 3, 4, 5. 5, Robson's 5.
It depends on how long he plays. He
Yeah.
about 3.5 quarters against Purdue.
Yeah.
He may take
So-
he may take 2.5 quarters off this week.
I've got Ohio State 30 and Northwestern 10.
All right, so you'll take Northwestern and the under. Keith.
I remember 2 years ago when it was at Northwestern, though, C.J. Stroud was quarterback for Ohio State. It was really windy, and Stroud had a lot of problems with that. I know the wind, like when it's mostly a factor at Wrigley, is usually when it's coming from the east. That would, and I don't know if this game is going to be played going north, south, or east, west on that field. I think they've been going north, south the last few years. So that'd make it a crosswind potentially. Anyway, it doesn't. We don't know what that's going to be, but I just have a feeling Northwestern will keep it within the 30. I'll go 34-10.
All right, 34-10. He does a half point play is under. All righty, we go to Tim. LSU, the Tigers. Talking about firing their coach. Let's see if they're going to end up doing it or not. This could be a big game in order for him to stay there. 4-point favorites going to play the Gators in Florida. 55 and a hook. Tim.
They must think a lot about Florida. In Florida, Rob.
This is in Florida. This is in
In
Gainesville.
Florida. Okay, so that will buy them a few points. I honestly think I think the LSU could win by a touchdown. So I'll take LSU on the spread and to win the game. What's the over under?
55.5.
Under.
All right, what kind of score?
Let's see here. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like 27 to. Let's see, it has to be within 4 points. I said LSU win by touchdowns. 27-21. 27-21.
27-21. So you're taking LSU. Yep. I got you. 27-21, and you're going with the under. Brian?
All right, Florida's starting quarterback, Graham Mertz, they lost him to a season-ending injury. And now the next guy, DJ Lagway, is questionable. He has an injury in this game. Florida's pass defense is 13th in the SEC, and he's playing against Nussmeier of LSU, who leads the SEC in completions. So that's very much in Nussmeyer's favor. I think LSU should win this game. Not so much going away, though, but I've got LSU 30. No, yeah, LSU 30 and Florida 24.
All right. Keith?
I think LSU's going to win this game pretty comfortably. Actually, I'm thinking 31-9.
Ooh, 31-9, 10. Keith will go with LSU in the under. Lord have mercy, Tim. 29-21. 29-21. I'm going with the under. We go to we've had like 4 of those already. They said we're not looking at my paper, but so we got Brian coming up next. We got Oregon. I think everybody agrees Oregon's the number 1 team in the land right now. Anyway, they may not be at the end. 14-point favorites going to Wisconsin to play the Badgers. 52 and a hook. Brian.
All right, Oregon's covered their 2 time zone road games very well. Yeah, this is probably their last one. Gabriel is a 75% passer. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks out there, along with Shadir Sanders. Wisconsin will try to stay with him with their running game. Tawee Walker, 674 yards rushing. I've got Oregon winning this game, though, 30-18. What's the spread?
30-8. 14.
Let's make that 33-18. I'm going to go with Oregon. 33-18.
33-18. That's 51. So it's just under. All right. That is Brian in the under. Keith.
I don't think it's going to be that close. I'll go with Oregon 41 to 19.
41 to
19.
Keith will go with Oregon in the over.
Yeah, it's got a plastic bag.
Yeah,
in here.
well, Brian tried to get to my score, but he didn't quite get there. Oregon 38, Wisconsin 14. So that's 52. Rob goes to Oregon in the under. Tim.
Your 13 sounds really good for Wisconsin, but I think that I'm going to raise you up about 4 points for Oregon. So 42 to
38.
Okay.
38.
So I have 42 to 13.
38, 14.
I have 42-13 Oregon.
42-13.
Wow, I thought I picked Oregon to win by a lot.
Now we're going to Keith. Tennessee, the Volunteers. They are pretty much on a pretty good roll here lately. We'll go to travel to Georgia between the hedges. Georgia's an 8.5-point favorite in this ball game. 48.5. Keith.
I know a lot of people are probably picking Georgia to bounce back and win now that they're back at home this week. I just don't feel like Georgia's the same strength of team as they've been the last 3 years. Tennessee, I have a feeling, is going to go down there and beat them. And I'm going to say 27-20, Tennessee.
27-20, Tennessee. That's just under the 48 and a hook. With a hook, I don't really have to give you guys a point. You guys always going to come close to it anyway. Yeah, I'm with you. You know what? I think Georgia's having problems now, but when they're at home, their problems go down a lot. Tennessee, they're not playing ultra great offense. They're just not. Their offense the last 4 years has been better than it is this year. They just are not playing well offensively. Defensively, yeah. But if this comes down to a defensive butt-in-the-face and a defensive butt-in-the-face, I'll take Georgia all day long. But they're not going to cover 8.5. That's way, way too damn much. 24-21, I'll take Georgia to win this ball game, but there ain't no way in hell they covering that many points. 8.5 is way too much. I'll go with the under. Tim.
Yeah, in fact, Georgia is not even in the top 12 for the college football playoff.
Nope.
Which is kind of shocking because Boise State's got the fifth conference, and so they get the 12th seed automatically. Yeah, I mean, God, that has to be embarrassing. And you know that Georgia's going to want to play their asses off. I think Tennessee possibly wins this with a late field goal. I'll say something like, say 24-23.
24-23. You got Tennessee winning.
Yes.
24-23. That is 47 all day long. Tim will go with Tennessee as well in the under. Brian, tell us why Georgia can hold up 8.5.
Well, you touched on it, Rob. When's the last time Georgia's lost a home game?
Yeah.
October 12th, 2019. It's been a long time since they've dropped a home game. So that's a big deal to me. I know Carson Beck has been disappointing. He's not played as well as he has in past years. But Georgia, and they just got blown out by Ole Miss 28-10. Tennessee, though, they lost the last 7 games of Georgia by an average of 26 points. And their quarterback, Nico Almaliva, is expected to play, but he had an upper body injury last week, so he might not be healthy.
Yeah,
I got Georgia
Rios.
winning. Yeah, I got Georgia winning this game, 28-21.
All right. So, but you do have 28-21 is 49. So Brian's got Tennessee plus the 8.5.
Yeah.
But you're going to go over. All right. Coming back to me now. Kansas, the Jayhawks going to play BYU. We've rattled BYU's name out there 3 or 4 times. BYU's 2.5 point favorite right here, 55.5, and I'm just asking myself why. Kansas is not home, and BYU's a 2.5 point favorite. I don't see it. This is knockout city right here, blowout, 41-17. BYU makes a statement game right here. That's a total of 58 points. I will take BYU in the big over. Tim.
Did BYU get any injuries that I should know about? I mean, that would be about the only reason why I think that they would cut this down to,
2.5 points. Yeah.
3 points. It'd be only if there's an injury. But I mean, this could be a close game. But this is why Vegas makes all their money, because God knows it'll probably be close to this number because Vegas says so. But I think that BYU, I'll say 20-10.
20-10. Okay. So you'll take BYU and a safe under. Brian.
Okay, I think the line is actually in the right place. I've watched all of KU's games. They've got a lot of losses, but they're all by one score. And the problem with KU this year has been they lost their offensive coordinator, and the new guy was not doing very well. But he has his act together now, and the offense is clicking like it was last year. Jalen Daniels, the quarterback at KU, has been very disappointing, but he's rolling now, and he's playing like they thought he was going to play all year. KU played a great game against a very good Iowa State team. That's why this line is close. BYU, on the other hand, I was afraid about, the way they blew out Kansas State at home. They also beat Arizona State pretty good. But all their other games have been very, very close. The one thing that concerns me about BYU is they have a 10 turnover plus turnover ratio, which is best in conference play. And KU's quarterback, Jalen Daniels, has not been doing a great job looking off his passes. So I think there may be some picks in this game. But I do think the line is set right. I have BYU winning this game, but I have it by 30-22.
30-22.
I would not be surprised though if Kansas wins, because they have the physicality and the talent to play with BYU. And
All right.
I would be surprised if it's the other way around.
And under. Keith.
Gonna go with BYU 23-16, and it might not even be that high scoring, but I'll go with that as a score.
All right, we'll go with the under there. All right, we go to the NFL Week 11 picks. And what did we do this past week? Tim and Brian got 6. Harris and Rob got 7. Keith got 8. Over and unders. Tim with 5. Keith with 6. Brian and Harris with 7. Rob with 8. Over and unders this week.
And I can tell you we're doing a great job with straight ups too. Keith was 11-3. Harris was 11-3. And Brian and Rob were 10-4. We've had several good weeks in a row.
Did I at least break even? Brian?
Well, no, you did well. You were 9-5 straight up.
Okay, that's
that's almost 66%. Anytime you win over 60%, you're doing really well. All right, let's start with Tim. Thursday night football. The Washington Commanders travel to the Philadelphia Eagles for first place in the NFC East. The Eagles are 3-point favorites, 49 and a hook. Tim.
Essentially what they're saying is they're even, and they're giving Philadelphia the 3 points for being at home. I want to say this will all depends. So I think the Washington can play with them. I'm going to say this is going to be Philadelphia 28, Washington 27.
Ooh, the same as the Steelers. Was that the same as the Steelers?
Yeah,
Commanders score?
Same as Steelers Commanders score. Yes.
We got to stop playing Pennsylvania teams.
Brian.
Okay, that first down by Zach Ertz, that wasn't a first down, and turned the ball back over there late in the game. I was really upset with that. I thought he had the first down. He was right over the line, but they pointed out he wasn't touched. His knee went down. The ball was over the line, but by the time he was touched by the defender, the ball had moved back behind the line. So they didn't get that first down, which was a key play. Who's a better player, Daniels or Hurts? Who would you rather have?
Right now, I'd rather have Daniels right now.
I would too.
I believe I would. But
that young kid
but it's still a risk. It's still a risk because he's still growing. Hurts don't have a lot more growth.
Hurts has the experience advantage right now, but
Hurts is not an old guy though. He's still in his prime. What's happening with Philadelphia is the interior of their defense is coming on fantastic. Jordan Davis at tackle and Jalen Carter at tackle, and Nakobe Dean is having a terrific season. All these Georgia guys are becoming what they were in college. And I think that's going to carry Philadelphia to the playoffs, and will carry them past Washington. I got them winning 24-18.
24-18, so he'll take the Eagles.
18,
and that'll be an under. Now, Tim, who'd you have win the game? Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah, Eagles, yeah.
Eagles, yes.
28, 27. Okay. Keith.
All right. Of course, I'm going to worry a little bit about Barkley in this game. I think that could be a major problem. Stopping the Eagles on third downs, that's going to be something that they're going to have to be better at than, I think what they were in some of their earlier games this year. Daniels has been playing outstanding, and he's got some weapons and guys that can make big plays, especially McLaurin. Eckler's made some nice plays, and other guys have as well. Um, I like the Eagles right now. I think they're a little bit more reliable in terms of playing, getting some punts out of Washington's offense, and so I'll take the Eagles to win this one, 24-20.
24-20. So Keith will take the Eagles minus the 3 points and go with the under. Harris liked to score so good, Tim. He said Eagles 27, Commanders 26. But Rob did you one better. Eagles 28.
I think somebody needs to talk to Darlene. I think Darlene has been.
All right, folks. I'm telling you, Tim has a camera in my fucking house somewhere. Excuse my French.
I think your wife is a spy, is what I think it is, and she's communicating with.
My wife is gone. My wife can't believe it. My wife is going shopping.
That's
my
what
wife
you
is going
think.
shopping. She can't.
That's what you think.
Oh, I saw the car leave. I saw ZZ Top. I saw ZZ Top's machine leave. Yeah, I saw it.
She's meeting with her spy contacts.
Sunday. If Tim gets me any more, I'm going to throw the papers across. I have 12 of them right
Are
there.
you sure those are pictures and stuff up there on the wall?
Raiders travel to Miami. Miami's a 7-point favorite. 46 is a total this week. Brian.
Well, Las Vegas is coming off a bye, and Minshew has not thrown any interceptions for a couple of weeks. Miami looked really good last week, but they're going to be working on a short week. They've got 6 losses, but I still don't think this team is out of it for the playoffs. I still think they've got actually they got like about a 36 or 34% chance to make the playoffs is what they're rating them. I've got this game as Miami winning 21-18.
All right, 21-18. You'll take the Raiders side of points then, right? Because 7 the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And 46, so you'll go Raiders and under. Keith.
Well, I can't name a Raider running back or a Raider wide receiver if my life depended on it. Having said that, it's a NFL and weird things happen. I'm not real sold on the Dolphins being a serious threat. And I think they're an injury to Tua away from having major problems again. It sounds like I'm setting myself up to pick the Raiders in some ways, probably, but I'll take the Dolphins to win ugly. I'll say 24-17.
Can you pop us a point one way or the other?
Oh, is that at the 41? Okay.
Oh, it's 7 on the dot's the spread.
7 with their favorite. They will
24 to
7.
24-18, and
So
Raiders
24-17-7.
24-18, then.
So you'll take the Raiders. So Keith is
now I suppose what was the over under?
The under.
Okay, I was going to say. I suppose that was 42.
24-18 is
42.
42. Yeah.
No, that's
yeah.
It's 46. 46.
Okay.
I forgot to mention
Harris.
Rob, I forgot to mention that police stop that was made on Tyreek Hill a few weeks back, and they pushed him to the pavement and stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, it came out last week that the policeman injured Tyreek's wrist, and that's why you've not been hearing much. He had a touchdown last week, but his numbers are way down. because he's kind of battling a wrist injury, which are really problematic. He has that cop. Not only was a racist, stupid, ridiculous stop, but he's also hurt his career.
Yeah. Harris likes the Dolphins in this ball game, and he says they're going to win by more than 7, 18-10. So Harris says that. And I have the Dolphins. Now, I'm going before Tim here. I've got the Dolphins winning rather easily, covering 7 easy, 27-10. I got the Dolphins winning 27-10. Tim.
I mean, you would think that right now, I don't know how much you could ask the Raiders to do. They're in a complete disarray. I don't like the Dolphins. I mean, if you're saying Hill's hurt and they even got all their, maybe this is the game they get all their stuff together. I was going to go right on.
He's healthy. He's playing.
He's
well. Achane or whatever for the
A-Chain.
Yeah.
He's all.
Yeah, but still, he's
A-Chain,
not.
whatever he is.
You don't. I mean, the way I see this, I'll say this: like 20-14.
All right, they are playing in Miami too. 20-14. So you'll take the Raiders, and you'll go with the under.
Yep, but the Dolphins still win.
All right, we got Keith coming up now. The Cleveland Browns traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. Saints are 2-point favorites here, 42 and a hook.
I think Myles Garrett is warming up. He had 3 sacks last week in his performance. Beginning of the year, I think he was bothered by a foot injury or something, but I think he's feeling it now, and he's playing. Winston is still a wild card, though. At quarterback, you never know when he's going to play well or throw interceptions. New Orleans, I think they won last week, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, over Atlanta.
Yeah, over Atlanta. Yeah.
New Orleans did. They played last week.
Yeah,
They
Darren
beat the
Rizzi.
Falcons.
Yeah, Rizzi got a big win, first win as an interim head coach. MVS played with the Chiefs last year. He had a horrible year until the playoffs. He played great. He had a big day. He had 103 yards on 3 catches. Kamara's got 715 yards rushing. They've got some talent. I think, unless Myles Garrett takes over this game, I think New Orleans can win this game, and I'm going to put New Orleans 24-16.
24-16, 40 points. You've got the Saints, Brian, and an under. Keith.
Winston, this is in New Orleans?
Yes.
Yes.
Winston returns to the Superdome. Shoot. Who's playing? Is Carr's back, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to take Cleveland in this one. 23-20.
23-20. Just going over the amount. Keith will take Browns in the over. Harris, he's got a blowout here. Yeah, the Saints 31, the Browns 9. So he's going with the Saints in the under. Rob doesn't buy it. I like the Browns in this ball game. I do. Of all 4 sides of the football, both of them's defense, both of them's offense, the Browns' defense shines the best to me of all of them. Their offense may not score that much, but I don't care. 23-17. I got the Browns outright winning this ball game. I'll go under. Browns in the under. Tim.
Yeah, I think they might actually break the 20-point threshold because this will be good Jameis Winston this game, I believe. He's going to go good then bad, and this week will be good, especially since he wants to impress his old mates. Also, I'd like to see Nick Chubb get more involved. Yes, he's coming off a knee injury, but you wonder he's had 2 knee surgeries. How bad? Let's see. I'll say 24-13 Browns.
24-13. Tim takes the Browns, and he will go with the under. All right, we go to Keith. Keith, we got the Colts. They are hosting the Jets. The Jets are 4.5-point favorites in this ball game, folks.
Because
43.
Anthony Richardson's playing.
Keith.
Because what, Tim?
Because Anthony Richardson's back at quarterback.
No, okay.
Not kidding.
for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year, yeah.
Well, that almost sounds like the Browns situation.
Well, he is back. You say he is back.
Yes.
You say Richardson is going to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm changing. All right. Go ahead, Keith.
Rodgers is healthy. Rodgers is cleared to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. I'll go ahead and pick the Jets to win then, and I'll look stupid doing it probably, but
4.5. 4.5.
yeah, wow. No, 24-20.
24-20. Keith will take the Colts and the over. And Rob, it's got to go right there. And right there. And let me see his. Oh, God. Harris is a trip. He said it's going to be an upset. 10-9. The Colts beat the Jets this week. 10-9. We will go with Harris and his Colts and the under.
Revenge for Super Bowl
I like
3.
Oh boy, couple field goals time. Yeah, I like the Jets in this ball game. I really do, especially if they got the other jabroni playing. I got a feeling they'll bench him before it's over with again. But they're not going to cover 4.5. 4.5 is too much. Jets 20, Colts 16. 4-point difference. So I'll go with Colts. And, yeah, well, you went 24-20. I went 20-16.
Yeah, but 4 points. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll go with the under. Tim.
And I like your Jets at 20, but I like the Colts at 17.
20-17. Okay. Well, it don't change a thing.
Yep.
Tim and the under for the Colts and Brian.
I don't know why Flacco couldn't find the magic that he'd had in Cleveland last year, but it just wasn't there. So, yeah, Richardson's back, and they said for the rest of the year. Indiana's defense is 27th in the league. Lost the last 3 games. Jets, hardly anything you can say positive about them except for their defense is not – well, even the defense is not playing well. Rodgers shouldn't have played. Jets have got to move on, and I think they need to blow that thing up. But I got them winning 21-19.
You got the Jets winning 21-19.
Yeah, they're going to make me look funny, but
All
I
four of
couldn't-
us
I
are
couldn't-
gonna be looking
We're all. I do.
You know,
Harris is in
Well, hell,
December.
everyone's going to look for
Richardson can't. He can't complete but 4 out of 10 passes. How do
Right.
you win with that? You know, it's just-
Has anybody heard anything from Michael?
Yeah, he's on last week with us.
Oh, okay, good.
We said we had him on last week for just
Okay.
for a little while. He didn't say a lot, and he was getting poked and stabbed by all the nurses and doctors. But he came on for 5 minutes. So if you go back and watch the film, you'll see
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Packers. Oh, I'm sorry. The Vikings is coming to me now. 6-point favorites at the Titans, and Harris will take the Titans plus the points. Let's see, 24-23. So Harris will go Titans in the over. He's got the Vikings winning straight up, 24-23. I don't see how in the hell the Titans can put 23 points on the board. I just don't see it.
Is Rudolph
Will Levis? No Will Levis. It doesn't make a damn now, boys and girls. I think Levis is playing. I think.
Yeah, he played last week.
I heard
Levis played
Levis
last
was
week.
playing,
did
but
he? Okay.
Rudolph might be. No, Levis did play. Okay, I think he's playing. But I don't care if it's Rudolph. I don't care if it's Levis. This team has their offensive line is not very good, and that's one place Minnesota can eat you up. Their defensive line can get you. Yeah, they're going to be playing in Tennessee. Yeah, there's a chance of some rain this week. All that means to me is that Minnesota should be able to run the football even better against the Titans than they normally could. 29-10. I'm taking the Vikings to pretty well beat them up pretty good. Vikings -6, and this is 42, so I go Vikings and the under. Tim.
The first of you two got the Titans scoring points. I don't. 31-0 Vikings.
31-0. Tim and the under for the Vikings. I mean, on the Vikings there. Brian.
Well, Sam Darnold started the season with like a house of fire, and I said a few weeks ago, when is he going to turn into a pumpkin? And I think that's happened. He now leads the league in interceptions. They've only averaged about 18 points or below the last 3 weeks. Justin Jefferson's had no touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Tennessee, though, they got Snead out. He's their best cover guy. I could see Levis pressured into mistakes by Minnesota's defense. And also Tennessee is short of wide receivers after Ridley. They just don't have much to catch the ball. So I've got Minnesota winning this game 28-14.
28-14's 42. You want to go a point one way or the other? 42 to 28.
27-14. We're at
27-14 sounds wonderful. All right, so we'll go Brian with Vikings and under. Keith.
I'm going to say Vikings 24-16.
24-16. So that's Keith, and he will take Vikings and under. All right, we're going to Tim now. I wanted to get the Packers in. We got the Packers in here now. They're 2.5-point favorites going to Soldier Field to play the Bears. 44 and a hook. Tim.
I can see why it's so close. It's a rivalry game, but the Packers could win this by a field goal easily. So I'm going to take them by a little bit more than a field goal. I'll say Packers 23, Bears 16.
23, 16, 39. So Tim will take Packers and the under. Brian.
The Chicago Bears are in panic mode. The coach said that they're reevaluating everything.
And that's their offensive coordinator.
Well, they fired their offensive coordinator, which happens when you go 23 straight drives without a touchdown. That might happen. Caleb Williams holds the ball too long, sacked 15 times the last 2 weeks. And then Green Bay, they've got Josh Jacobs, who's having one of his best years, 750 yards. Xavier McKinney on defense, 6 interceptions, 7 passes defense. He's having a good year. I've got Green Bay winning this game 24-17. And I actually at the beginning of the year, I was huge on Chicago, and I thought they'd put it together. But if you look at their schedule, they may not win another game the rest of the year. Their schedule's very tough.
6 against their division, the Niners and the Seahawks, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Niners, and who was the other team? Seahawks.
It was the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Niners, Seahawks. Niners, Seahawks in 6 divisional games. That could be 8. That could be 8 games.
There might be no more wins for Chicago this year.
It may not be. So you went under, right?
Yeah.
Packers and under. Keith.
Yeah, I was watching that Bears game this last week with my dad, and against the Patriots, the Bears offense, they had no clue. Both tackles were out. They lost another lineman during the game. Williams looks like he had no confidence in what plays are being called. He just looked like he was mentally beaten early on in that game, looked demoralized and frustrated. I don't know if this coaching change is going to change any of that. And this could be a blowout if Love plays a clean game without making too many boneheaded mistakes. I like Green Bay 31-13. It could be a little uglier than that for Chicago if they don't get their offense playing a little better.
All right. 44.5. Okay. All right. Harris like that 31 you got as well. He's taking the Packers 31, the Bears 17. So he's taking the Packers in the over. Listen to a sports reporter. That's a sports broadcast local from here in Virginia today. And he said, how many people out there take the over-under on this one? Caleb Williams being a Chicago Bear for 3 years, 3 solid seasons. He says he'll take the under on that. How about that one now? So, nowadays teams don't give you 5 years to 3 years to develop. You step in there, that's why I think it's still good for a rookie, if possible, to sit there and watch a veteran if they can watch it happen.
Yeah, I think it's most of the time they're better not playing right away. But.
That's what Tom Brady was saying the other day. He was saying that they're pushing him way too fast these days. I just don't get the time.
And that's why
was the exception to the rule, I think.
Caleb Williams has discovered he does not have the offensive line that he had at USC.
No. Bryce Young, Desmond Ritter. I mean, you can just list them off right there.
Yeah.
The backup quarterback at Pittsburgh. I mean, come on. It's just all of them. The backup in Seattle. The one he would come from Washington. I mean, it's so many of them.
Could have been a blessing in disguise
that
McCarthy got hurt. Might be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Especially if he can stay a year or two. Yeah. I like the Packers in this ball game. I think the Bears will give us 24-14. 24-14. I will take the Packers and the under. Going to Brian. We got the Jaguars. How hot is that seat got to be? That's got to be steaming hot under your ass. Let's just go play the Lions. What the hell? Lions, right now, that line has went up. That line, I've got it at 10. I'm hearing some places got as high as 14.5 now. Yep. We got it at 10. We will hold it at 10.
Yep.
Lions 10-point favorites, 51 over under. Brian.
Well, the Fighting Dan Campbells once again showed them who they are. Down seriously at halftime, held them to no points in the second half, scored 19 unanswered points. Jared Goff is totally unflappable. He throws 5 interceptions and was under 250 yards passing. How many times has a team won a game where their quarterback plays like that in NFL history?
Steve McNair, I think, did it once in like 2000 against the Browns.
I don't think it's only happened one time. Maybe that's the game that you're referring to, but it's teams are 0-128 in those circumstances. So Goff is just unflappable. He said that he's looking to clean up those mistakes. Jacksonville's in trouble. Detroit 34, Jacksonville 17.
I'm curious what's the most interceptions that Brett Favre had in a game.
And guess what the over-under is, Brian? 34-17 added up. That's 51. Is it over-under?
Oh, okay.
You'll go 35-17?
Yeah, 35-17.
Forgive me, McNair threw 4 interceptions in that game, not 5.
Yeah, I think there's been one game in the history of the NFL where there's been a number of games with 5 interceptions, but also the quarterback threw under 250 yards. So 5 interceptions, quarterback under 250 yards. I think it's only happened 1 or no times.
Keith. All right, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Detroit's gonna try to clean things up and look sharp before quarters this week. Jacksonville kept stuck in that game with Minnesota for quite a while. That surprised me. The Lions 38-10.
38-10. Keith will take the Lions and the under. Harris straight up just said blowout. 41-3. The Lions. And now I got to start wondering if Keith has started looking at my paper.
48-7. I said, yep.
38-7. Lions, I'll take. That was close.
Yeah,
Wasn't
exactly.
far. So I'll take the Lions. I'll go under the total. Yeah. Exactly.
By the way, the last 2 field goals that the Detroit kicker may have been good by about yay much. Like he seriously just snuck them inside both sides of the uprights. And he must have known just exactly the way the ball was going to go because you probably fit a sheet of paper between both of those. They were that close. But he made it, and so did they. By the way, I'm seeing I don't know for passing yards, but the third quarterback in 30 years to throw 5 picks and win. Matt Ryan in 2012 and Tony Romo in 2007. Would throw 5 picks in a game and win.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's hopefully not going to throw 5 interceptions, and especially since Lawrence isn't playing in the game. Well, it all depends on how much they want to run up the score. I'll say 44-13 Lions.
44-13. Tim goes with the over. All righty. We're going to Keith. We got L.A. Rams, 6-point favorites, going to those pesky New England Patriots. They're just not falling down for everybody. 43.5.
Has anybody ever thrown 5 touchdown passes in a game and lost?
I will look that up.
Probably so. Patriots, I saw some things, the way they played against Chicago that I thought were encouraging. I didn't see any, I didn't see a team that's capable of going out and blowing anybody out, but I thought for what they have talent-wise, they played a pretty sound game. And Drake May, I thought was showing some signs that he might be a decent quarterback from what I saw, although he made a couple mistakes as well. The Rams, I really thought were going to flip a switch and play really good the rest of the season. And then I was kind of surprised at the fact that they lost to the Dolphins. Now they got to go, what does Mike say? Something like the West Coast to the East Coast or something. This is out east. Patriots might win 2 in a row, but I think the Rams will sneak it out. I'll say
6 points. Can they win by 6?
no. I'll say
All right.
20-17.
2-0.
20-17.
Win to 17. All right. And he'll take the Patriots and the under. Harris, he likes the Rams in this ball game pretty good. 24-13. He's got the Rams beating the Pats, and that will be an under. And you know what? I'm right there with him. 24-12 is my score. I will take the Rams to win this game. I just think they can't play that bad on offense 2 or 3 games in a row. I think they will line it up. They'll start playing a little better. It's a nice field there, too, in New England. All right, New England and under. Tim.
Keith, last.
I'm talking about Rams. Yeah, we took Rams and under. I'm sorry. Me and Harris took Rams and under. I'm sorry.
Okay. The Ravens-Bengals game this year, that 41-38 game, which is to me, the game of the year so far. Burrow
Yeah.
had 5 touchdowns and lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's happened way more times than you might think. But yeah, it's essentially our Cup and Nakua. I think they're going to be too much, and then you throw in Kyron Williams. To me, they're just too much on, even with as good as New England's defense is going to be. 23-13 Rams.
All righty. That's Tim and the under. Brian.
Well, the Rams had Kyron Williams, Cup, and Nakua last week, and I thought, yippee, we're going to see the real Rams offense. And we didn't. But I think they'll get it together. One thing that worries me is they only won one road game so far this year. And this is a long road game from coast to coast. But I think they'll pull it out. I don't have them covering, but I have the Rams winning the game 22-17.
22-17 and
And in
Brian
New
takes
England-
Pats and
New England, their coach called them out and called them soft 2 weeks ago. I didn't think that was going to work. It worked. And then they had this players meeting,
yeah.
and those don't usually work. But it worked. They've won 2 in a row. Might win 3 in a row here. Who knows?
Be possible.
We go in now to the Ravens, 3-point favorites against the Steelers, and 45. Harris, against his better judgment, he said, even going with the hardballs, 25-21. He will take the Ravens and the over. That's Harris. That's definitely not Rob. You know what? Defenses right now, put them lined up against each other. I like his Steelers better. They're throwing the ball down the field. I just think if you're going to find one, it's going to stop the other one. I think his Steelers can get to number 8. I really do. They're at home. This is a perfect game for the Steelers to steal from the Ravens. I don't think they're going to be looking back at Commanders. 21-20, Steelers win this ball game outright. I will take the Steelers and I will go under. Tim.
Their defense, the Steelers' defense, is going to be a little bit hurt because I believe Highsmith's out for about a month.
Yeah.
With an injury. So,
but they picked up another pass rusher. His name is Smith or something, so it might not be as big a hurt as you might think.
But not the one that just got traded to the Lions, but
no, not Zadarius Smith, but
not Zadarius.
I think they picked up a pass rusher.
They picked up pass rusher. Okay, so that does help a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, essentially. Well, also, you're going to hope that they get the Steelers get Mike Williams more involved. He had the biggest catch he had one catch and he made it count. So you got to hope that he gets more involved. And I think the Steelers can win this game. I'll say 26-21.
All right, 26-21. You will take Steelers in over. All right. Brian.
Okay. Isaiah Likely, their outstanding tight end for Baltimore, is questionable. So is Likely to play or unlikely? I don't know. Lamar's playing, and he's got 3,200 yards total offense this year, 24 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He is having a career year.
Yep.
Should probably be his 3rd MVP. Derrick Henry, he's over 1,100 yards. But I'm kind of with you guys.
How?
I like what I see.
The other tight end they got also has a toe injury. What's his name?
Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
Andrews.
He's got turf toe expected to play. Yeah.
Okay. Pittsburgh's defense
go for it.
is number 2 in the NFL. They got their 1,000-yard guys, and Najee Harris, he's going to get 1,000 yards this year, and George Pickens will be a 1,000-yard receiver. Pittsburgh has one 7 of the last 8 games in this series. So this is not unfamiliar territory for Pittsburgh. Mike Williams is a big, tall receiver who's perfect for moon balls from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is, I didn't think it was possible, but he's back to the Russell Wilson of Seattle days, throwing the ball and making good decisions. Pittsburgh's better coached than Baltimore, I think. I got Pittsburgh winning 26-23.
26-23. That will be Brian and an over.
Yeah, I don't know if Brian has that winning in regulation or going to overtime. I'm going to predict an overtime game, and the Ravens are going to win that overtime game 24-22.
Oh.
What? Oh, a safety.
Yes, sir.
Wow. 24-22 overtime safety. I love it. And that'll make it go over. And you'll still be taking the Steelers since that's 3 points. So it'll be Keith going with the over, picking the Ravens to win, and an OT. I'll even put OT down there. That's cool as shit.
This is the second of 3 terrific games this weekend.
Let's go.
Yeah, I agree. We've already gone over one. And then
this are 3 good games. Washington Eagles. We got to beat. Yeah, that was the second one. And we got a third one coming up a little bit. Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's see. We're going to Tim now. Tim, we have got the Seahawks going to the 49ers. 49ers are 7-point favorites. 49. That's the line, guys. 49 is the line. Tim.
And this is in Levi's, right?
Well, that's the over-under.
Santa Clara?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is out west.
Yes.
It is
in San Francisco's home.
It's in San Francisco.
Yep.
Okay.
It's in
because it's not there, San Francisco usually plays a lot better at home against Seattle than they do in Seattle. So I'll take the 49ers to win this one, especially with a improved, hopefully better CMC this week. We'll say 27-20.
All right, 27-20. You get they're favored by a point. I mean, favored by 7.
Okay,
28 up or
20.
down. 28-20. You'll take the Niners.
Yep.
All right, Tim. And 28-20. You'll go with still go with the under. Brian.
Pretty cool that Ricky Pearsall gets his first touchdown just 2 months after being shot. CMC's back. Things are looking up. Not sure the clubhouse is going well with Debo Samuel punching his the field goal holder after Moody missed the field goals. But Purdy himself, he had his second best game last week. San Francisco's defense is going to be hard pressed to keep, or Seattle's defense is going to be hard pressed to keep San Francisco out of the end zone. Their defense is below average. Secondary is battling some injuries. I think they're better players than what they've been showing, but 3 of them are kind of have nagging injuries and they're not playing very well. Geno Smith is going well for Seattle. I got San Francisco winning 28-19.
28-19. That is 40.
7.
So you got San Francisco and the under. Keith.
Yeah, I'm going San Francisco in the under as well at 27-17.
$27-17. Keith says he'll take the Niners and go with the under. Harris likes the Niners, but he said they're not going to cover. 27-26. Niners win. Take the Seahawks, he said. He's going with the oval. And Tim's original pick of what was it? 27-20?
Mm-hmm.
And then he swapped it. Then he swapped
Unbelievable.
it.
Yeah, I saw it. 28-20.
And I took it
26-20.
low end. I went with the low end, the 26-20. That's the way I went. You went with the 28-20.
Yeah. Mhm.
So because you went 27 and then you went up one. So you ended up taking the Niners. I'll take the Seahawks plus the points. So 26-20, Niners win, Seahawks cover. I will go with the under. We're going to Brian now. Brian, we got the Falcons. They're a 1-point favorite. Went up Mile High Stadium in Denver. 43 and a hook.
Kansas City could not pressure Bo Nix last week. And I don't think Atlanta is going to be able to pressure Bo Nix either. And he is a pretty good quarterback. He played really well against us. The only thing I'm worried about Denver, though, that was a gut-wrenching defeat last week. I mean, it was gut-wrenching. And sometimes a defeat like that can break a team. So we'll kind of see going forward how that works out.
Look at the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Denver's defense is no joke. They're fourth in the NFL. We had a lot of trouble with their defense. Their defensive line, I can't name you the names on there, but they played great against us. Sean Payton, I think he got the best that he could get out of his team against us. He really said, when I used to scout for our football team when I was athletic director. One thing I watched was how hard cornerbacks were playing the run. And he was obviously looking at Trent McDuffie when McDuffie got beat for that touchdown. I think that might be about the only touchdown McDuffie's given up this year. But McDuffie was a 3rd and 1 play. McDuffie was definitely looking for a running play, and as soon as the ball was snapped, he was laid off the line and he was already beat. That's coaching. That was a great job by Sean Payton to spot that and set that up. Sean Payton has already beat the other teams in the NFC South. He could get a sweep here, and I think he will. Denver wins 23-18.
23-18. That's 41 all day. Brian, Broncos and under.
The weather's supposed to be okay. They had 20 inches of snow about a week ago, but I think the weather is supposed to be 40s or so. 50. It won't be too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ready for me?
Yep.
I think Denver's defense is going to be the thing that prevails this week. And I don't look for it to be a very high-scoring game. Denver 20, Atlanta 6.
20-6. All right. So Keith will take the Broncos and the under. Harris, my friend, says this is going to be blowout city. 37-18. He likes the Broncos to win. Yeah, I'm hearing there's a chance of a little bit of snow this week, even a half inch, whatever, during the game, whatever. If it does anything, that's going to mess up Cousins big time. But I just don't see Denver blowing this team out. I don't see it. I think they can win, but the Falcons have a good team. 20-19. I'll take the Broncos to win and squeak by and go under.
Do they make the last second field goal this week?
I will see.
They block it. They block it this week. They block your last second field goal. It's Denver. If anybody has problems other than Denver kicking, it's Atlanta.
Well,
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is.
Youngway Koo.
He missed 3 last week, I think. Yeah.
Who did? Wow.
Youngway Koo or whatever. But
I think they've had 1 or 2 blocked also.
So I'll say they'll block a Falcons field goal at the end. That's what I think. Tim.
Well, I mean, can you figure either of these teams out? I mean, once again, Falcons are better at home than on the road, but I got a low-scoring game. I'll say something like 19-12.
And who's winning?
Falcons.
Oh, you're going to take the Falcons in this game.
Yeah.
Kim will take Falcons and the under.
You predicting like a couple touchdowns
Alrighty.
with missed extra points or something? Or
You can get a missed extra point, sure. Touchdown, two field goals with a missed extra point. Sure.
Keith, the Chiefs. A
I miss
one-point
Harris.
favorite.
I
Go
miss
on.
Harris. I miss Harris.
Harris, I had him down. I had him with a blowout. 37-18 Broncos. Harris,
Okay.
37-18. And mine, 20-19.
Gotcha.
All right. Keith, the Chiefs, a 1-point favorite, going to Buffalo to pay the bills. 47. Go at it, bud.
all right. Well, Chiefs are good. I don't think they're going to go unbeaten. This is a logical place to pick them to lose, but it was in the playoffs last year too. That didn't happen. I like Buffalo to win this one though. I really do.
Okay.
I'll say 27-20.
27-20. Can you throw me a point one way or the other? 47 to over under.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just go to 29-20 then. That's 2 points.
29-20. Okay.
Yeah.
And that will go as the over for Keith. Harris Jessup says the Chiefs lose their first game this week, 33-28. Harris has the Bills and the Chiefs putting 61 on the board this week. Rob doesn't see it. And in fact, I'll even go one further with you. The Bills will have more passing attempts than rushing yards this week. How about that? I'm going to say that. More passing attempts than they have rushing yards. I don't think they're going to – I don't even think they're going to get close to 30 rushing yards. They're going to be all over 17. I'm going to say 7 sacks. 7. It all fringes on him. Their running backs are not that good. The receivers are good, but if you can't run the football, you don't have a chance in this league against this team. 24-22, Chiefs stay unbeaten. I will go with the under. Tim.
Only because I think there's going to be a late score by the Bills. That's why I'm going to pick the score. Bills 35, Chiefs 20. It's going to be 28-20 late, and then the Bills will score late to make it 35-20.
Wow.
35.
Those Bills and 35-20.
Mm-hmm.
35-20. So that's 55 points. That is over. Brian.
Okay. Buffalo's on a 5-game win streak. They're still trying to play for the number 1 seed. Kansas City is trying to put that to bed. They're worried about Buffalo. They're worried about Pittsburgh, who has only 2 losses. We'll see if Baltimore can beat Pittsburgh. But Allen's threw 2 interceptions last week. And if he doesn't get a running game going with Cook, he might throw another 1 or 2 this week. Kansas City, on the other hand, last week they gave out 4 sacks, and they had 9 quarterback hits. Teams that have done that are 0-20 this year. Kansas City's 1-0 when they've done that. And that's the thing about Kansas City. They are a team. I mean, it's hard to predict how they're going to win a game. It's different every time. But that blocked field goal, that was not luck. And you can't say the referees gave this one to the Chiefs either.
Nope.
I get so sick of seeing that on the internet. There's even a meme of a referee jumping across the line and blocking a kick, all stretched out. But when they got that last first down, and it was obvious that they were going to run out the clock and kick a chip shot field goal.
Very good news, Michael.
I looked at Laurie because I saw Andy Reid walk over to his other coaches, and I said, I know what he's doing. He's asking, what do we got for a block punt or block field goal? And that's what they did. That was not luck. They had that set up. There was a lot of discussion about that on New Heights today, the podcast, and also on another show where the poor Denver guy, they had 3 guys he had to stop. And all he could do is get his hands on the 2 outside guys and die slow in the middle. Yep. He did not die slow. Leo Chanel trucked him and got over him and blocked it. If Leo Chanel didn't block it, Karlaftis would have got it. And if he didn't get it, Nani might have got it. There were 3 guys who could have got that block. That play was not by luck at all.
No.
Our biggest problem is our left tackle. Kingsley Suamataia, who was a high draft pick, I think his 2nd-round draft pick, to take Donovan Smith's place. Now people in Kansas City are crying, can we get Donovan Smith up off the couch and back on the team? I don't know if they're looking at that or going to do that, but I don't want to see Kingsley play left tackle again. He's going to get Mahomes killed. He had no chance out there. Early, he started the season as a starter. He was dropping too deep, and so they took him out, put Wanya Morris in, and they tried to get him to not drop as deep, and they overcorrected it. He wasn't dropping deep enough, and the Denver guy was killing him. I mean, there were 2 or 3 plays Kingsley could not even touch the guy. So maybe he can play guard, and Joe Tooney move the left tackle, or Ethan Driscoll, who's been sick for a couple of weeks, they could give him a try. But we've got to do something about our left tackle big time before the playoffs. I don't know if we'll go back to Donovan Smith or not, but they might. We'll see. They've got a couple other guys up off the couch. Now, here's the thing with Buffalo. Coleman, their sharp little rookie receiver, he's injured and out in this game. Dalton Kincaid is doubtful for this game, their main tight end. Milano's practicing again, but he won't be ready. He can't play this week. He won't be ready to play this week. He might be ready to play the week after. Now, we've got guys coming back. Pacheco's practicing again as of yesterday. And Amenahu's practicing again. And Juju Smith is practicing again. Andy Reid said Pacheco and Amenahu are kind of doubtful for this week, but he's got hopes that Juju might be back this week. So we're kind of getting our pieces back. And Buffalo's coming in this a little bit handicapped because that Coleman is an outstanding receiver. I think Kansas City is going to go up there and win again. I know Buffalo is 3-1 against us in Allen's days in regular season, but I think the Chiefs see this as a chance to nail down that number 1 seed and have a little bit more relaxed finish to the season, which is what they want. 24-21 Kansas City.
Say hello.
24-21. And Brian will go with the under.
Say hello to Larry Harris, who joined us and made a comment about the Bears not being the worst team in the league. And thank you, Michael Pearson, for the great news.
Yeah.
Says
Larry's been here for a while. Larry's hung right there. He's been here with us almost the whole show. It says 6:35 on mine. So he's been here for almost 45 minutes. That's everybody there.
Sorry we didn't get to when you commented.
Yep. Bengals, Chargers coming to me. Sunday night football. Chargers a 1.5 favorite It's a flat 44, guys. 44 is the line. And Harris says, I like your Chargers big here, 28-17. So Harris just does take the Chargers and the over here in this ball game. You know what? I don't like the Bengals. You just know that I ain't picking the Bengals. Herbert is starting to look like maybe a playoff caliber quarterback. He's starting to look like it. Any team, if you give them a running attack at all, the quarterback seems to grow up awful quick. 23-20. Chargers win this ball game. They cover this ball game, and I will go with the under. Tim.
Yeah, I was sort of impressed by what the Chargers do, and they're smelling a playoff berth, and I think it's going to start going the wrong way for the Bengals. I'll say Chargers 20, Bengals 12.
20-12. That will be Chargers and an under. All right, Brian.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati is pretty much dead for the playoffs. They've already got 6 losses. I think they'll have 7 after this week. Not Burrow's fault. 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It's a defense. They're 26 on defense. It's not like Chargers will move up and down the field on Cincinnati, but they've got a running attack, and they've got a great defense themselves. I mean, as bad as Cincinnati's defense is, the Chargers' defense is great. So I've got Cincinnati winning this game 21-14. Who did I say? Chargers winning.
Chargers winning 21-14.
Yeah, Chargers win 21-14.
21-14 is 35. That is an under.
Can I use something?
Yeah. Keith? Go for it, Keith.
Hey, John. I don't know why. I'm just going to pick the Bengals to win this one, 31-27.
31-27. Wow. How about a high-scoring game? Keith likes the Bengals and the over. All right. Final game of the week, guys. Monday Night Football. Tim, we got the Houston Texans 6.5-point favorites. Heading to Texas Stadium, or whatever the hell they call it now, AT&T Stadium, to play the Cowboys. 43. Have at it, bud.
Now, if this was a full-blooded Texans offense, you could pretty much blow by any total that they might put up. But because it's not, I still think that that this team will go over. So I want to say Texans 30, Cowboys 17.
30-17. And that is 47. That is Tim. Texans over. We go to Brian.
Cowboys are too light to stop the running game in general, and now they got to face Joe Mixon. They're not going to stop Joe Mixon. It's a team, I think, of self-centered stars. They've got all kinds of things going on the side. Winning football games is just not one of those things. They had 146 yards of total offense last week. That's it. The star on their helmet's not an emblem; it's a rating. It's a 1-star. It's a 1-star operation only.
Oh, that's the line of the night
offense
right
and 1
there.
star on defense, right? Because they have 2 of them. Unlike the
That is
Steelers, where they
funny.
have 1 logo.
That is the
That-
line of the
funny.
night, Brian. I'll give you a full
Yeah.
credit.
Houston, Stroud might get sacked a couple times. They lead the league in sack yards lost. But Houston's secondary is outstanding. If Trey Lance plays, if they try Trey Lance, he'll throw a ton of interceptions. Even the other guy, the guy that's been playing,
Yeah, Cooper Rush. Yeah.
Cooper Rush, he's going to have trouble with that secondary.
Yeah.
One thing that worries me about Houston in general, as far as the playoffs goes, they've not scored a touchdown in the second half of their games in 5 of the last 6 games. So maybe the team is basically out of shape. Maybe they just run out of gas toward the end. They're not going to run out of gas against Dallas. Dallas is not a challenge. They're going to beat Dallas. I've got them winning 27-20.
Well, you got them being more of a challenge than I do,
Seven.
Brian.
20, and that is an over for you, for Brian. He'll take it.
By the way, Michael has some comments
Keith.
here.
Well, I was just going to say that, this week at least Jerry doesn't have to worry about his receiver not being able to see a football coming at him in the end zone. Somebody was saying that he needs to put curtains in the place.
They already exist. They use them when they have when they have concerts. They just didn't lower them.
Rob has said all along. I have said all along. You don't have a damn dome and windows in it. You take your son of a bitches out. I'm sorry, that's me. Now you close it off and have it dark and make it where it's lights inside. I love that. I'm with them. I agree with them. Don't have.
Or have a stadium that
Sunshine.
Rotates so that you can steer it away from the sun.
They said when they got music performers come in there, they almost always ask them to lower the curtains because they don't like the sun, coming through the windows, the glare. So they do. Yeah, they just didn't do it for the football game.
In the world, always.
Yeah.
41-10 Texans.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how
To me,
Dallas
it makes
is
all the
gonna
sense
score a touchdown.
in the world. They may start doing it. I hope they do. I really.
Darlene.
Go for it, Keith.
41-10 Texans.
Oh, he's listening to Darlene singing. He's listening to Darlene singing.
Sorry.
Oh,
Hi, Keith. Hi, guys.
hi, Darlene.
Hi, darling.
Hi, darling.
Hey, can you fix a pizza for Robbie? He said he hasn't been able to eat pizza for a while.
He is full of it. He has pizza almost every day.
And he's full of it for the ass.
He's had it. No,
Sloppy Joe. I got sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
I got plenty of it sitting right there. I ain't starving to death, bro. A lot of things might happen, but I ain't starving to death. Who'd you take, Keith?
41-10 Houston.
Can you hear him?
41-10.
Okay.
Keith takes.
I think I'm on a
Texans
delay
over.
for Rob or something. I don't know. He was kind of getting
Here's
buffering.
Harris.
All right.
43-10 Texans. Yeah, so that's Harris taking the Texans. And over. Rob is going, you know what? I'm the only one going to take the Cowboys this week. They ain't going to win. 6.5, I think it's too much. Stroud, if anybody watched that Sunday night game, Stroud had that game in the palm of his hand at halftime, and he did everything in the world to blow it. Throw picks, fumble the ball. He can't run straight. If you do disguise your defenses, which I think maybe the Cowboys can do a little bit, Stroud is a bottom 5 quarterback. This is I'm telling you, Stroud they may get beat. I won't be surprised, but I will take the Cowboys in 6.5 points all week long. I'll do that. Texans 24, Cowboys 20 in this game. I will go with the over, and I'll take the Cowboys side of things. Now, let's go back to the locks of the week. And I'm telling you, boys, we are doing well. Brian took the Ravens, locked it down against the Bengals. Only won by a point, but they locked it down. Tim took Minnesota. They had problems, too. Did they win like 12-7?
12-7,
Yeah.
yes.
They beat the Jags 12-7, but they locked it down. I took the L.A. Chargers, and the Chargers ended up taking care of the Titans by 10 points. So we all three got it. So what we have to do, anytime we do that, I will roll the dice. That's Tim. That's Brian. That's Keith. And that's Rob. Tim and Rob. All right. So we're going to go all the way around the board. Looks like I'll be starting. You had an 8 to start with, Tim, but I matched your 8, and then I got a 9 to 4 on you there.
Not a problem.
Straight up locks this week. There's plenty of games that should not be a big problem to take. Tomorrow night's not the one. Oh, sorry. I will take all right, I gotta do it. Green Bay. I'll take Green Bay to take care of the Bear. Tim, who you like?
That was going to be my first pick, but as I'm looking at Yahoo Sports, I'm going to take the one that's right underneath it. Vikings over the Titans.
All right, you're going to take the Vikings. Tim says Minnesota. All right, Brian.
That leaves me Detroit. I'm taking Detroit, and it won't be by 1 point this week.
Yeah.
I'll go with Houston.
And that's not a bad pick. And Keith
I'll
takes
go
it.
with Houston.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hey, the Lady
Damn.
Sooners put up 122 points tonight in basketball.
Well, that's nothing. Grambling
Wow. Who was it
Centenary
playing?
by over 100 a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, Centenary. Yeah. Houston, didn't Houston win that one 133 to like 18 or something?
Well, that was
It was bad.
that was Grambling.
It might have been 28. Maybe it was 133. All right. It was 122 to 18 or something. I saw something. I'm like, okay.
The Lady Sooners' top scorer's last name is Beers, Beers, and then their top assist person's last name is Tot, like Tater Tot.
Jeez.
So-
Yeah, it was 131 to 30, Grambling over
POT.
Centenary.
All right.
Yep.
All right, guys.
But the top
mention
scorer
this to
for
the
the other
guys
team's
before-
last name is Beans. B-A-S.
Beans and Tots. Beans and Tots. Ain't nothing
Beans,
like
Tots,
that.
and beers.
That's
That's
something
going to
in
be a
England.
smelly night.
Right after tea and crumpets, you get beans and tots. You get that coming after tea.
Yeah, that's going to
tea
be a
and
smelly night,
Oh.
man. The beer in there.
I mentioned this to the guys before we came on the air. You guys in chat, throw it up as well. Juan Soto per year. We're not worried about how many years he gets, whatever. Over under 55 million per year. Tim,
I'm saying under.
under. Brian,
I think under.
Keith,
I can't believe anybody would pay that much for him. Under.
I'm going to go over. I'm going over it from all indications that it looks like he's at 11 years, 600 million. And if that's the case, 11 years, 600 million averages much more than 55. So we will see what happens. Michael Peterson says under, way under. I don't think so. I think it's going to go high. We'll see what happens. Now we go to Tim. Your stinkers, your three low-life pieces of garbage football teams that we shouldn't even be calling football teams right now are
The Dallas Cowboys. The the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans.
all right. Brian.
Definitely Dallas Cowboys. I think that organization is going to be a long time climbing out of the hole that they're in, and they'll never be able to do it as long as Jerry Jones is GM there. we were talking earlier. I don't think the Chicago Bears are going to win another game this year, looking at their schedule. So I got the Bears down there. My third would probably be Jacksonville. Because,
Okay.
Carolina and Bryce Young is
Keith.
kind of looking like he's getting plugged in a little bit.
Cowboys.
Yeah, starting
Um,
to play.
Get the Cowboys, the Panthers, and the Jets.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go Jags, Jets.
Jags, Jets. Is there another J somewhere?
Yeah, Jaguars, Jets, Giants.
Yeah, Giants.
Jaguars, Jets, and Giants. I still think Dallas plays the Giants today. They beat them, but we'll see what happens there. Now, top three.
I still think they're going to.
Keith.
The Giants are going to still bench their. I think they're going to bench their quarterback because they still have that $23 million guarantee that they have to pay to him if he gets hurt.
Yeah.
So
If he plays so many minutes.
There's going to be Drew Lock here
Yeah.
pretty soon, maybe even this week. I think. Playing.
Yeah. Keith, top three.
All right. Lions, Chiefs, then it's kind of a toss up there from three, but I'll go with the Ravens. Even though their defense is questionable, I just think that their offense is
I got you.
pretty tough.
I'm going closer to home with things here. I can't do that neither. I'm going Kansas City number 1. I'm going Pittsburgh number 2, and I'm going Philadelphia number 3. Philadelphia right now, if nobody does nothing else different, they're going to the Super Bowl and going to be playing the Chiefs again. I just think so. The Lions can't beat the Eagles. I don't think so. I just don't think they can do it. We'll see. Tim.
Yeah, it's the top's a little bit turvy, but I mean, I guess until we'll go Ric Flair style. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man, and nobody's beat the man yet so far. So, take the Chiefs number 1. I mean, my problem is that the Steelers or Ravens are so close, but pulled out with the Steelers pulling out a gutsy win. I'll take them number 2, and then because the Lions had to squeak it out the last couple games, you got to win close games. I'll take the Lions 3.
Okay. Brian.
I like the Chiefs. They're not without problems. They got a couple things they got to solve, but their history is by the playoffs they get those things solved. The Lions, the Fighting Dan Campbells, are just incredible. I mean, they are tough. They're physical. And I'm liking Pittsburgh. Their defense is for real, and they've got some stars on offense. Buffalo, I just don't think their defense is
And if
good
you look at
their offense is amazing in Buffalo.
at Vegas before the season started, guess how many wins they had Pittsburgh at before the season started? Vegas.
I think they were picking a losing season, weren't they? They're like something like 7 wins.
6 and 11.
Yeah.
Vegas had them at 6 and 11. Now that's before they knew their quarterback controversies and all that type of stuff. But still, man,
You get those early enough, you've already cashed that ticket.
Someday, the world's going to learn that
Yeah.
that head coach over there can coach. Tomlin is fantastic. People just don't give him enough
If
credit.
Tomlin got fired today, there's 31 teams out there that would hire him some kind of way. I gotta believe you'd have to hire him for defensive coordinator or head coach, no less than that. I don't care where you're at right now. Nobody,
And how the Rooney's
Dan
get
Campbell,
it right.
you take him as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Laura and I were talking today about Andy Reid. I thought when Schottenheimer was here, Schottenheimer coached here about 10 years. And he really overstayed his stay. I mean, it was his show was old by the time he got here, and he really needed to move on. And I kind of began to believe that no coach could really stay at one place 10 years or more. But Andy Reid has proved me wrong on that. And here's the one thing I want to say about Andy Reid. Name me a team that lost their number 1 wide receiver, the number 2 wide receiver, and their number 3 wide receiver, and their number 1 running back all at the same time, and they've gone this long undefeated. That team just didn't exist.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is doing a hell of a job coaching this team.
No,
And nobody ever talks about him being the coach of the year, but he's doing a coach of the year job this year.
yeah.
Was Gunther? He was the defensive coordinator under
just
Schottenheimer.
Yeah, he was a good defensive coordinator.
The blue blocker glasses or whatever he had.
Yeah. He was actually in Cologne in World War II when that firebombing happened. He was 2 years old. Thank God he survived that somehow. But I think he was the head coach for a year or two. That didn't go well.
What was a firebomb? What was that story?
He was a 2-year-old kid in Cologne, Germany, when Cologne Germany was
Oh.
firebombed in World War
And
II.
it blowed up in his face. Yeah. Are we next week? I guess we will. Next week's not Thanksgiving. No.
No.
Next week's not Thanksgiving.
We got
Is
2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one more thing I want to say about Andy Reid.
Okay.
too.
So next week we will.
Yeah, we put the Thanksgiving week. We play on Friday. The Chiefs have had to play. Last week was their first 12 o'clock Sunday game this year. They have to play every day of the week this year, except Tuesday, sometime or other.
Right,
They've had
Wednesday on Christmas.
they've had the most unregular schedule that you can have, and yet they adapt, and they've always said, we'll play anybody, anywhere, at any time, and they're proving it this year because they've got two or three more 12 o'clock Sunday games, but all their other games are just weird times, just unusual times.
Rob, can I throw something out here real quick? Not NFL related. Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe it's the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argonauts in the Grey Cup. I expect Winnipeg to win by at least a touchdown.
Okay. You've been watching some games?
I watched a little bit of I think I watched about 2 or 3 quarters of the Argos game and then a little bit of the Winnipeg game. Winnipeg's offense looks fantastic. So I expect them to overcome, especially since Toronto's quarterback he broke his ankle late in the game, and they're going with a backup.
How would you guys rank the teams in the NFC West right now?
Oh, good gravy!
NFC West, I go Cardinals.
Aside, just right now.
I think the Niners will eventually win this.
Cardinals, Niners. Oh, I think the Niners are going to win the division too. But right now, I still think the Cardinals play the best. Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks, Rams. I'll put the Rams at the bottom. I think Seahawks still play a little better than the Rams.
Seahawks have some
I don't know how
issues,
the hell the Rams could have lost that game middle of the night to the. Yeah, they do, but I don't think the Rams can do anything either. Rams couldn't do nothing with Miami. I'm like, man, oh man, they were at home and lost that game. I'm like, you can't lose that. That's
Arizona's pretty physical. Arizona's pretty physical, and they've got a running game.
Yeah, it's all according
right?
Connor. Yeah.
If a midget don't throw the ball all over the field, they got a great chance of winning. They do. But
what's Harrison's numbers this year?
Their record from last year helps.
Marvin Harrison's been doing okay. He's been getting some touchdowns.
Harrison Jr.'s averaging 4 catches a game, something like that. I think
Something like that.
33
for 33 catches, 499 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
No, that's
he's doing fine.
That's fine with me for 6 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
33 catches, 33 catches in 10 30, 33 in 10 games or 9 games?
Oof. Let's see here. Hold on.
He had a lot
Played
for
10.
2 or 3 weeks, so he's I
I think
think
they
started to pick up his catches per game. There was one game he had like 2.
Arizona's off
games.
this week, so they've played 10 games.
Yeah, 10 games.
So-
So about three catches a game, and averaging about 11 yards.
10
Reception.
games. Yeah. Yeah, so he's playing decent, but I think other teams would use him more. But hey,
I think San Francisco
he's all right. He's
declined a little bit. They've lost 4 games. They're 5-4, and now they're punching each other on the sideline. That's not good. It's just, and I've noticed this too about them. Every time we play them, you find some way. Last time he was pneumonia, but he was suddenly healed. 2 days later, he's back at practice. But that's the way. It's the same thing every time we play them. Eagle Samuels just never makes it through the game. Yeah, and then you got crazy things going on.
Yeah.
That's him punching the field goal snapper. That's not the only thing that's going on out there. There's a problem.
the snapper, long snapper.
Yeah, Pepper, the
Yeah.
snapper. Yeah, but there's other things going on too that just
Yeah.
tell me that football is just might not be the number one priority out there anymore.
Saints. Saints. Some of that story now is coming out worse now about the coaching staff and stuff, and that ain't looking good either. About some of the players were betting with the coach and stuff on different things. I bet I can get 2 sacks, 3 sacks, shit like that. And if that gets out to the point where the league buys into it, Saints gonna be up the creek, man, because it's like, hey coach, I'm gonna get 4 sacks today. All right, I got you 100, something like that. And that's the way I've been hearing
Draft
things
picks?
went with that team. Huh?
Could they be stripped of draft picks or something for that?
They could lose
The
draft
bounty
picks for
stuff,
that
yeah, I
thing,
guess you could.
and they could get suspended. Hell, you gambling. If you gambling, that's suspension time. Man, that could be a year. I mean, and then that could ban the coach. Think about that. The coach probably should never be hired again. But they're just looking into it. All they said was it was mentions of that going down the hallways, and what's his name's picking into it and pushing it and all. So we'll see what happens. The guy that
What year
stands
was
around
that
his
that
desk all
Sean
halls
Payton
and
got suspended?
screams. I don't know.
What year was that Sean Payton got suspended for the bounty stuff
No,
or
it's not
Greg
Sean.
Williams?
Yeah,
It was like 2012.
It was after their Super Bowl year, I guess.
2014, maybe. Yeah, something. Yes. Yeah,
2012. Yeah,
I want to say 2014, but he,
Wow, that's
it was
2012.
2012.
years
Yeah.
ago already.
and that's the thing. He came out looking a lot cleaner than he could have. People don't talk about that much no more, but still, man, I'll tell you what. That anytime you got a coach that you fired mid-season, beware. Beware, because if he's got any skeletons that he knows are yours in the closet, they allow him to pull them out and use them on you. Just that's why I think a lot of coaches wait and get fired at the end of the year. I think a lot of times they're just relieved of their duties. Bye, see you later. I can't see many more coaches now. Why would you fire them now? Hell, you're 11 weeks into the season now. Just let them play it out. But I still think between now and Thanksgiving, 1 or 2 more goes. Eberflus, if he gets fired, if he loses this week, he's got to go. He has just he's lost that team. And then on top, but the problem is you're putting whoever is the coach in a no-win situation. They're probably going to get their asses whipped 6 out of the last 7 weeks they play. Why would you do that? I would probably just leave him in there, let him take his ass whipping, and send him home. Other coaches, the coach in Jacksonville, I probably would fire him. You still got some winnable games on your schedule. You're not going to the playoffs, but you got some winnable games on your schedule. You can get a coach in there and be like, hey, let's do some stuff and let's do it right. James Franklin going to Dallas, I really got a laugh out of that one. I'm just like, Penn State would love it. The fans at Penn State, he can't beat Ohio State, and I think they beat Michigan once or something, twice or something. But come on, James Franklin to go to Dallas is not the answer. I don't know who he is. James Franklin's not it anyway. We'll see what happens. But
I'm not sure there's any coach that's going to want to go to Dallas as long as Jerry's there.
Right. Why would you right now, especially as strapped as you are for cash?
Yeah,
You
two
can't go
players
out here
getting
and
half
get
the
any
money.
player.
Yeah,
they're getting 61% of it. I mean, that's only leaving 39% of the money to the rest of what? 51 players? That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. So,
something that
Michael
was mentioned
Parsons,
earlier.
his contract's cut.
Earlier, it was something was said about going to college with the playoff rankings right now that Boise State would get in. That Notre Dame isn't considered the
No, it wasn't Notre Dame. It was Georgia.
Independents don't
Georgia
count as
wouldn't go in.
Georgia wouldn't go in, but
It
Boise
was
State
Georgia.
would.
Georgia wouldn't go in, and who was it? Would be, guys. Is it
Boise State. Yeah,
Boise State would, even though Notre Dame
Yeah.
doesn't count as that fifth because they're not from the major four conferences. So I thought, because I had asked a week or two ago about whether it could be an independent rather than a fifth conference champion that would get in. And I thought you guys said
Fifth
yes.
conference champion gets in no matter. Fifth conference champion gets in no matter if it's 3 independents in the top 12.
Okay.
All 5 conference champions get in. So let's say Liberty. Let's just say for the hell of it, no Liberty's in the conference. But let's say Army, for instance, was not in the conference. Let's just say they were independent and they were to go 13-0. Now, obviously, you got to be ranked in the top 15. They're not going to be ranked in the top 15. That's not going to happen. And then they would have to have the strength of schedule or something like that to where they would push them into the top 12. Army wins out, they can't go to the playoff. We already know that. They just can't do it. And now Iowa State, we don't have to worry about Iowa State now. They done got beat. They're not going. Indiana, they've pretty much told them, and they're in the top 5 right now.
They're going to have
and
to
they
beat
pretty
Ohio
much
State.
said you lose to Ohio State. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to have to beat Ohio State.
What did you say, Brian?
Indiana will
if
have.
they don't beat Ohio State, they're
Ohio
not going to beat.
yeah.
They'll have to go undefeated. Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens there. Somebody's gonna
Each
play
1
4.
through 4 for the playoffs are going to all be conference champions.
Yes.
So I guess that would be
Top
Oregon.
4 will be
Texas.
conference champions.
There's a lot of football to be played, and there's conference championships to be played too.
Right now, that would be Oregon, Texas,
The
BYU,
The 4 highest ranked. The 4 highest ranked.
or Notre Dame, actually.
So if Big 12 was to pass, if Big 12 passes ACC, they'll get one of the 4 places, and ACC won't. Yeah.
I guess it'd be Oregon,
That's what
Texas,
happens
and
then.
then
That's the way it
BYU,
works.
and then would Notre Dame get the number
So-
4 one because they're ahead of Miami?
No.
Or is Notre Dame's best?
They don't. I don't
Unless they
think they're
can get his
eligible to
number
get
5.
a bye. Notre Dame's best is a 5 unless they go undefeated. I think if 4 conference champions automatically get those 4 spots.
Yeah, the best
So
Notre Dame can do is
that
5.
gives,
Okay.
Yep. Since they're not undefeated, you got to if you're gonna be an independent, you got to go undefeated.
But they're trying to push them, I guess, to join the conference a little bit then.
That's why NCAA wants them to get back into they had ACC on their jersey for a few years, and they got rid of that. Now their basketball has ACC on their jerseys because look at the money they're making. Ding Dong, Duke, UVA. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the ACC that's won a national championship. Syracuse, Louisville. There's just so many of them, and they don't want to throw that away. Georgia Tech, no, they didn't ever win one, did they? Did they ever win one? NC State won one.
Yeah.
I don't think Georgia Tech.
No, Georgia Tech's
Make a deal with them and tell Notre Dame you have to play all major conference schools except for maybe one game.
Well, what they need to do is this. This would be their smart thing. Join a conference officially. Join a conference. But that would do away with Notre Dame Network, which it's still out there. You can actually still get to Notre Dame Network, but NBC has got all their games as far as every year now. They're not, so all you're doing during the week is
NBC's kind of pivoting away from that, aren't they?
Same damn.
With the Big Ten, I think they've pretty much gone. I don't.
Right. But right now, I think they've still got them on the contract, so where they can cover 6 of their games a year or something. So. I don't know. They're going to go wherever the money's at. And
I'm not sure that the SEC is the best conference anymore. I think Big Ten is having a heck of a year. And no, Big 12. Or Big Ten's having the best year, I think. They got 4 teams that might be in the playoffs.
Well, with
Oregon being 5 right now in the AP rankings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I just think I agree with you to a point, but I just think when you just point to them and just say, "Hey, number one, you played number one." I think if you went down the list and went to the top 8 teams in the SEC against the top 8 in the Big Ten, I think the SEC would win 6 or 7 of those games. I think easily.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure Ohio State it would beat. I don't think Ohio State would go in march into. I think at least 4 teams in the SEC is better than Ohio State. I really do. I do. That's just my opinion. I think Texas is better. Texas beat them already, right?
Texas beat
them?
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Wait, who did Texas beat?
Oregon beat Ohio State.
Oregon beat Ohio State.
Oregon.
Texas beat Alabama.
Oregon. That's right.
Texas beat Michigan pretty strongly.
Yeah. I'll agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Right now, nobody wants to play Oregon. Nobody wants to play. I think Oregon is. I think they're on another level. But then, if you want to go Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State, and I don't know who else. Or you want to give me Texas, Georgia, Alabama, and Ole Miss. Let's just give me those 4. I can take Tennessee, whoever the hell else. I would take SEC. I just think, but like I say, Oregon up top right now. I don't think nobody. They don't play Ohio State, do they? Oh, that's right. They already beat Ohio State.
It's just conference games from now on.
Yeah.
Oregon, Indiana.
Oregon already beat Ohio State.
Yeah, the thing about Ohio State, though, is I thought the Penn State game would be more challenging for them because they had problems on the offensive line. I think they moved a guard to left tackle. And I was watching that game, and, man, he was playing good, 74. I thought, this is looking better than I thought it was going to be. And if Ohio State's offensive line can play better than what they played the first half of the year, which looks like they can, man, they got a great quarterback. They got great receivers. They got great running backs. And their defense is the top defense. I think Ohio State is a very good team. I think they've got a shot.
Oh, you think they have a shot at the national title?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do.
You think he can win through this playoff and win it all? Ooh, I don't think so. Ohio State, not Ohio State, Penn State. I think Penn State's this much better than Michigan. Really, I don't think they're
No,
that
they're better than Michigan.
good. They're going to get whoever they play in the top 12. Whoever
Look
they
at
play
their-
in the top 12, I don't care who it is. They play
Look
in
at
the
their
top 12,
offensive
they will-
line. At Penn State, their offensive line is so in sync. Their run blocking was fantastic. Now, I do think their coach holds them back. The coach can recruit, but he was too conservative.
Yeah.
He was way too conservative against Ohio State.
Yeah.
He made that
Yeah,
game
he
too easy.
I
for
watched that
last
game.
year. Yeah.
That's the only game I've seen them play this year.
But as far as the
they
players
looked like
go,
they
they-
were lost in that game, and they were at
They-
home.
They've got
They
the they were home, but they've got the players to win. I just don't think the coach is getting the best out of the players. Myself.
This is what I'm hoping for. I want to see Indiana roll. I want to see Indiana make it all.
I
the
do
way
too.
through.
I've watched them a few times, and they
And I
are
want
really
to see
good.
Indiana play a team like I want to see it play a team like Georgia or Tennessee or Alabama. And I'm telling you, I think they're really, really, really good. I do. I think Indiana's capable of beating Ohio State from what I've seen. Man, I am impressed by Indiana, but
I do too.
I don't like I said, I just don't think, especially you give Oregon a week off. I don't think anybody can beat Oregon. I really don't. I don't care which team you throw at them. I think they can beat anybody right now.
No.
BYU, they'd blow them off the water. Clemson, they'd blow them out the water. A&M, they'd blow them out the water. Yeah, Oregon to me, I really thought this would be the year that nobody would go undefeated, but I think they've got a legit chance of going 16-0. I think they can do it. I really do. I don't think nobody else out there can. I really don't think Indiana can run 4 games in a row. We'll see. But wouldn't that be one hell of a game if Oregon got to play? I mean, if they got
They
to
beat
play
Ohio
Oregon
State and then play Oregon
in the
yeah.
finals, Indiana. I would love. I'm talking. Yeah, not the Big Ten championship, but that's where they would play though. But do they even have a championship game anymore?
Big Ten, yeah, they do.
Do they still have SEC? They do. That's
Yeah.
something that's not even needed. To me,
Yeah,
they can get rid of all the championship
Yeah.
games.
I
Just
agree. Yeah, I agree.
well, get rid of that because if you want to give us a 13th game. I think 12's enough. 12 games is a big enough platter size where we can see if you're really, really good or really, really bad. And you don't need 13. I'm with you, but I mean, I hate seeing Army getting left out. I wish Army had some kind of way they could get in there. They wouldn't beat nobody, but man, just going 12-0. I just wish they had that opportunity, but they don't. They won't get
let's
it.
see what Army
I
does
And
against
the only
Florida
way
State.
they will.
I think
What'd you
know,
say,
you look
Jim?
at one team. If one team plays a lot harder schedule than another, I think you need to take that into account when it comes to signing.
But
Playoffs.
remember, Army has to play Notre Dame, so let's
We'll see what happens
see what
there.
happens for that game. Yeah,
I don't think Notre Dame will do to them what they did to Navy
Yeah.
because Army's a little more stout on defense, but we'll see.
I agree. I think they got a legit chance of beating Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame got 2 losses and 1 loss?
So,
I think it's 1. I think
Rob, how many teams
I think they've got.
if they played ever? How many teams in the Big Ten do you think Vanderbilt would beat?
they beat Northwestern.
Not many.
They
Let's
beat.
see.
Ooh,
Let's list the ones they couldn't beat. They couldn't beat Indiana. They couldn't beat Ohio State. They couldn't beat Penn State.
they couldn't beat
Could they
Oregon.
beat Michigan?
They give them a
That-
game.
Oh no, they
That'd
couldn't
be
beat Oregon. No.
That could be a game, Michigan and Vanderbilt. That could be a good game.
I believe it could be. I believe they
They,
could.
they
beat
could probably beat Michigan State.
maybe beat. Yeah, all of them but those 4. I'll say all of them but those 4.
And they
I
could
think
beat
he could
Purdue.
beat Illinois,
Now.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
I believe they could maybe beat Nebraska. Not Illinois. I'll take Illinois off of that. That's another one. That'd be
So
5.
I think they could beat
I don't think
3
they
or
can beat
4
Illinois.
Big Ten teams.
Minnesota?
That'd be a good game.
Yeah, Minnesota. UCLA, they could beat USC. I think they could beat all those teams.
I don't know about.
They
I don't
just-
know how good Iowa's
but-
doing this year. Iowa's not quite as good this year, right?
I was
No.
playing like they did last year. I was
Well, they scored some
Scoring.
points this year. Last year they couldn't score.
yeah, they are scoring more, and they're not giving up a lot. Their defense is still playing well. That would be a good game too, Keith. Vanderbilt and Iowa. That would be a real good game because both of them have really good defenses. They might could sit there for a half and not give up.
That quarterback
field
that
goal.
Vanderbilt has is kind of good too, isn't he?
Pavia,
He
for
ain't a bad
college.
quarterback.
he has a long history with his coach.
Did he get
Uh,
Did he transfer from? No, yeah, he transferred with his coach from
Yeah, with his
left
coach.
back. to
I think he's
Vanderbilt.
been with his coach since
Yeah.
high school. I think it's a deal there.
Yeah. You're right. He's played real.
He
done
gave
real well.
Alabama all kinds of
All
problems.
right, hey guys. Tim, we promised we'd let you go by 8:00. We didn't lie to you, little friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
no, I
Tim?
am. So I got trivia that's at
For Brian, for
8:30.
Keith.
So.
My name's Rob. Tim's got trivia at 8:30.
Entertainment
and we are
purposes
going
only.
trivia. We're not going to make any
Entertainment
trivia
purposes
elimination here. Bet all your money. Put the house and the car and the boat up
on
this
your
week.
own picks. On your own picks,
And
not
take the Eagles
ours.
tomorrow night. And you, my friend, go with us. Go with us. All four of us took the Eagles. Ride with
Especially
the
the
Eagles
games
tomorrow
we
night.
didn't
Give
agree
up the
on.
points. You are going to be. You could be a millionaire. You could absolutely be a millionaire. You watch that show on us. God bless, guys. We will be back next week. And if you're a millionaire, you owe us 3%. Bye.